Hey everyone! Great to have you here on the Speak English podcast. I'm David, and today we've got a super important topic that so many learners struggle with.
And I'm Sarah. Thanks, David. And hello to all of you listening or watching. Today's topic is something that secretly holds back millions of English learners around the world.
Yep, if you've ever tried to speak English but felt your brain slow down because you had to translate everything first, then this episode is definitely for you.
It's frustrating, right? You know the words, you studied the grammar, but when it's time to speak, you freeze. It's not your fault. Your brain's just using the wrong process.
Exactly. But the good news is, there's a much better way. Today, we'll show you how to stop translating in your head and finally start thinking in English.
You'll learn how to make this shift step by step with examples, a simple challenge, and real techniques that actually work. No magic, just real brain training.
So, before we dive in, if you're serious about improving your English, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep creating free content like this for you.
And now, get ready. Because once you stop translating in your head, your confidence will skyrocket and your fluency will finally feel natural. Let's do this together.
When you translate in your head before speaking English, you're actually creating a long mental detour that slows you down and makes you feel unsure. Your brain has to decode what you want to say, find the right words in English, then build a sentence. And by that time, the moment may have already passed.
That's why even learners who know lots of vocabulary and grammar often struggle in real conversations. The translation step is the biggest barrier to fluency because it keeps you from thinking naturally. Your brain isn't operating in English. It's switching back and forth, which is exhausting.
Thinking in English means connecting your thoughts directly to the language, without needing to pass through another filter. Instead of translating, your brain learns to associate situations, ideas, and feelings directly with English words, which speeds everything up and reduces anxiety during conversations.
This process doesn't happen overnight, but it's absolutely possible with consistent practice. You're training your brain to recognize English as your first response, not your second. And just like learning to ride a bike, once your brain makes the connection, it starts to feel automatic.
One powerful part of this technique is that it's not about memorizing perfect grammar rules or long lists of vocabulary. It's about building mental habits, learning to experience the world through English so that your responses become fast, clear, and natural, even in unexpected situations.
And here's what's interesting. Your brain is already capable of doing this. Every time you use English to think instead of translating, you're strengthening those neural pathways. The more often you do it, the faster your brain becomes at understanding and expressing ideas in English directly.
So instead of thinking, how do I say this in English? Your brain starts to just say it. That's when fluency really begins. When English becomes the tool your brain reaches for first, even in spontaneous situations like casual conversations, asking for directions, or sharing opinions.
This is why learning to think in English is one of the most important shifts a learner can make. It's not about speaking faster, it's about thinking clearly and confidently, without hesitation. And once you make that shift, everything about speaking English becomes easier and more enjoyable.
So let's walk through what this actually looks like in real life. Imagine you're getting ready in the morning. Instead of thinking about your routine in your own language and then trying to translate it, you simply start naming what you do, in English, as it happens, even if it's just in your head.
You wake up, stretch, and say, "I'm getting up now." You go to the bathroom. "I'm brushing my teeth." You make coffee. "I'm pouring the coffee." These short phrases are simple, but they help your brain connect your daily actions directly to English without going through a translation step.
You're not trying to build long, complex sentences. You're training your mind to think in small, complete English thoughts that match what you see, feel, or do. Over time, your brain gets faster at choosing English words because it's no longer waiting for a translation. It already knows what to say.
You can also do this mentally throughout the day. If you're walking to work, you can silently think, I see cars, or it's sunny today. The goal isn't to impress anyone with your grammar. It's to make English the default language of your thoughts, even in simple, everyday situations.
Another effective exercise is describing things around you. If you're sitting in a room, look around and name what you see. There's a chair. The window is open. The phone is ringing. These moments of thinking in English build fluency because they happen in real time, with real context.
You can also imagine conversations and answer them in your head using English. For example, you might picture someone asking you, "What are you doing this weekend?" And you reply mentally with, "I'm going to the beach." This mental practice helps prepare your brain for real conversations.
The key is consistency, not perfection. You don't need to use advanced vocabulary or speak fast. The goal is to train your brain to react in English first, without pausing to translate. That shift, thinking in English in simple ways, makes it much easier to speak when it really matters.
And remember, even small steps make a difference. Every time you describe something in English, every time you build a thought without translating, you're rewiring your brain. It's a powerful shift that feels natural over time, and it's one of the best habits any English learner can build.
When you train your brain to think in English, you eliminate one of the biggest causes of hesitation, the need to mentally translate. As a result, your responses become faster, more natural, and more confident, even in moments when you feel a little nervous or unprepared.
One of the biggest benefits is that conversations become smoother. You're not pausing to search for words, you're expressing ideas directly. That sense of flow builds your confidence, and the people you're talking to can feel it too, which creates better, more enjoyable interactions.
Another powerful benefit is that your listening comprehension improves dramatically. Since your brain is already in English mode, you don't have to mentally translate what others are saying. You just understand it. This helps you follow conversations and respond more naturally.
You also become more present. Instead of focusing on grammar rules or worrying about mistakes, you're truly in the conversation. That shift allows you to connect more deeply with the people you're speaking to and makes your English feel like a real tool, not a school subject.
And the confidence boost is huge. The moment you realize you just had a full thought in English, without translating, is unforgettable. It makes you feel capable, motivated, and proud of your progress. That emotional shift can be the fuel you need to keep practicing every single day.
Plus, when you stop translating, your speech becomes more fluid and less robotic. You stop sounding like you're reading from a textbook and start sounding like a real person. That's what fluency is all about, being able to express your ideas naturally, clearly, and in your own voice.
And this new way of thinking doesn't only help when you speak, it also helps when you write, when you read, even when you dream in English. Your brain becomes more connected to the language, and the whole experience of using English becomes smoother and more intuitive.
Most importantly, thinking in English helps you feel like you belong in the language. It becomes part of who you are, not just something you study. And that feeling, that English is part of your everyday life, is one of the strongest signs that you're truly becoming fluent.
The first step is to start small. Choose one moment in your day, maybe brushing your teeth, making breakfast, or walking outside, and describe it in English using simple phrases. Focus on what you see and do. The goal is not to be perfect, but to start building that English thinking habit.
Next, create a mini routine where you think in English for 5 minutes a day. Set a timer, and during that time, describe your actions, thoughts, or surroundings in your head. It could be while you clean, cook, or even before bed. Just 5 minutes can create real changes in your fluency.
Another great strategy is to mentally respond to imaginary questions. For example, ask yourself things like, "What's your favorite food?" or "What did you do yesterday?" and answer out loud or silently in English. These short self-conversations prepare you for real-life speaking moments.
You can also label objects around you with sticky notes or say their names out loud as you walk through your house. Seeing and saying words like door, window, or mirror helps your brain connect the image directly with English. It's a fun and visual way to reinforce. Vocabulary.
Don't forget to use your phone in English. Change the language settings. Think in English while typing messages or talk to your voice assistant in English. Every little interaction counts, and when your digital world supports your practice, your brain adapts more quickly.
Create a journal in English where you write just 1 or 2 sentences about your day. Keep it simple and consistent. Then, after writing, read the sentences out loud and think about how you would say them in a real conversation. Writing and speaking work together to reinforce fluency.
One powerful habit is to speak out loud to yourself when no one's around. Talk about what you're doing, what you're thinking, or what you're planning. The more you hear yourself speaking English in everyday situations, the more comfortable and natural it becomes.
And most importantly, be patient and kind to yourself. Thinking in English is a process. You won't be perfect at first, and that's okay. What matters is that you're showing up, practicing, and creating new mental habits. That's how real fluency is built, one thought at a time.
One common mistake is waiting until your English is perfect before trying to think in English. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll stay stuck in translation mode forever. Start now, even with short, simple sentences. That's how growth happens.
Another big mistake is trying to mentally translate word by word. This leads to awkward sentences and confusion. English has its own rhythm and structure, so instead of translating, focus on expressing complete thoughts the way they naturally sound in English.
Many learners think they need a huge vocabulary before they can start thinking in English. But fluency doesn't come from knowing thousands of words. It comes from using what you already know. You can express so much with just basic, everyday English. Start with what's familiar.
A lot of people also believe they need to speak fast to sound fluent, so they rush and make more mistakes. But fluency is not speed. It's clarity and comfort. It's okay to pause, think, and speak slowly. The more you think directly in English, the smoother your speech will naturally become.
Another mistake is comparing yourself to others. Everyone has a different journey. Maybe someone else thinks faster or speaks more confidently, but that doesn't mean you're behind. Focus on your progress. If you're practicing daily, you're already winning.
One thing that holds people back is being afraid of making mistakes. But mistakes are actually signs that you're using the language. The more you use English, even imperfectly, the faster you learn. Don't be silent. Speak, make errors, learn, and keep going. That's how real fluency grows.
Some learners switch back to their native language too often during the day, which makes it harder for their brain to stay in English mode. Try to create small environments where English is all around you. Music, podcasts, labels, thoughts. Immerse yourself little by little.
And finally, don't expect overnight results. Thinking in English takes time, and that's okay. Be patient with the process. What matters is consistency, not speed. If you're practicing even a little each day, your brain is changing, and the results will come.
All right, it's time for a quick challenge. After this episode ends, we want you to spend just 5 minutes thinking in English. That's it, just 5 minutes. Choose a time when you're doing something simple, like washing the dishes or walking, and describe everything around you in English.
You can say things like, "The water is hot," "I'm putting the plate away," or "I see the trees." Keep it simple and natural. The goal isn't to impress anyone. It's to activate the English part of your brain and build that direct connection without needing to translate anything.
If you want to go a step further, imagine someone is next to you and ask yourself questions like, "What's the weather like today?" Or, "What time is it?" Then, answer out loud in English. Practicing imaginary conversations helps your brain prepare for real ones later on.
And if you're feeling a little shy or unsure, no problem. Speak silently in your mind. Mental speaking still works. The key is to stay in English the whole time, even if it's just for a few minutes. That focused practice builds real fluency faster than any grammar book ever could.
For those who like writing, try journaling one short paragraph at the end of your day. Then read it out loud. Describe something you did today, something you felt, or something you plan to do tomorrow. Writing, reading, and thinking in English at the same time is powerful training.
And if you repeat this for just 1 week, 5 minutes a day, you'll notice a big difference. Your mind will feel quicker, your sentences will flow easier, and you'll catch yourself thinking in English without even trying. It's a small challenge, but the impact is huge.
Remember, the secret to fluency isn't studying more. It's using what you know in real situations, even simple ones. This challenge helps you make English part of your life, not just something you practice for a test. And when English becomes part of your daily rhythm, it sticks.
So take this challenge seriously, even if it seems small. 5 minutes a day of focused thinking in English can completely change the way you speak. You've got this, and we'll be right here cheering you on, every step of the way. You're doing better than you think.
Today, we broke down one of the biggest challenges English learners face, translating in your head, and gave you practical tools to stop that habit and start thinking directly in English. It's a small shift that creates massive results in your fluency and confidence.
We also showed you how to apply this in your daily life, with simple actions like describing what you see or creating short mental conversations. These little steps might seem basic, but they help your brain work in English, not around it. And that's a game changer.
You learned about common mistakes that hold learners back, like aiming for perfection or comparing yourself to others. But you also learned how to avoid those traps and keep making progress at your own pace, with consistent, focused practice every single day.
And we gave you a challenge you can start right now. Just 5 minutes of thinking in English today. That short moment of intentional practice can build a new habit that grows over time, helping you feel more natural, confident, and connected to the language.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. What part of this episode helped you the most? Was it the technique, the examples, or the challenge? Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your story might inspire someone else who's going through the same thing.
And hey, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, that means you're really committed to improving your English. So type the word "head" in the comments to let us know you're part of this amazing community of learners who never give up.
Don't forget to hit that like button if this episode helped you, and subscribe if you want more content just like this every single week. We're here to help you speak English with ease, one step at a time, no matter where you are in your journey.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us. Keep practicing, keep thinking in English, and most of all, keep believing in yourself. You're capable of so much more than you think, and we can't wait to see you in the next episode. Take care and talk soon.